Hello there, Taurus. Welcome back to Misfits of the Zodiac. My name is Ace. I am doing a winter solstice pull for you. So winter solstice, what is that? So winter solstice, if you don't know, is usually around December 20th or the 21st. It is the longest night of the year and the shortest day. From that day forward, the sun starts to return. In other words, the days start getting longer. It's celebrated in the pagan community and the witchcraft community as Yule. And I just felt inclined to do that for you guys. Instead of doing a normal December reading, I decided to do it a little later in the month and have it kind of bleed into the next year so that you guys have something to kind of reflect on before we started the fresh new year. I also just finished up, for those of you who don't know, I am a background actress on TV shows out here in California, and I just finished up on a show that I was on for like 4 months. It was kind of a wild ride, and I was doing my best to do these readings, but they finished with me on December 1st. And I needed some time to kind of reflect and to get just some downtime before I jumped into these readings so that I could really focus on them. And so I can't tell you what the show is, but it is a medical show. It's starting back up in January for your viewing pleasure. I will be able to tell you later if you are interested. It's a medical show. It's in their second season, so if you can take those 3 things of information and figure it out, then good on you. But I can't say yay or nay until after their first couple episodes roll out. But yeah, so it might be a little Easter egg for you. If you happen to watch the show, you might see me in the background somewhere. So I was a patient. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to get in trouble with Warner Brothers. But anyway, I actually bought this. This is called Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle. I bought this specifically for this reading, so that we had something that kind of was in alignment with the energy. And it just felt obviously right because we're doing a winter solstice. So this is the celebration of that. So let's get right into it. Your first card is the Queen of Pentacles, which is great because it's you and your energy. You're an earth sign. And so this feels very much like you are reaping the benefits of a lot of hard work this year. I feel like you're in a very stable place financially. And if you aren't, you will be by the end of this year. I feel like you've worked really hard to get here, and you're now sitting in abundance. This person is sitting in a, I believe it's a pecan grove, or pecan grove, depending on how you say that. Some of us say it a little differently. And she has more than enough, and has so much that she's willing to give to others. So if you have a little extra to give this year, it could be very beneficial to you and to the people that you care about around you. But I feel like either way, you're feeling very stable, very grounded, and very much in this sense of self-accomplishment at the beginning or the end of this year, beginning of the winter solstice. I feel like you're also taking time to rest. So this is the Four of Athames. You're kind of in my energy right now. I needed some time to kind of recalibrate. I feel like that's you as well. By the end of this year, right around the 21st or the 20th, even though we still have a couple more holidays to celebrate, I feel like you are in this mode of needing a vacation, needing to find time for extra sleep, extra self-care. And I feel like that's going to be really, really beneficial to you on this winter solstice leading into the new year. I feel like it's going to help bring a lot of insight and a lot of clarity about where you are and where you're going. And I feel like anything that seems foggy could be coming to the surface. And by that I mean we have the moon. That's your next card. This is talking about something coming to light for you. There could be some information that you've been trying to and not being able to get to, grasp, see. And I feel like as a result of you taking some time out, taking some rest time, something's going to come to the surface for you that's going to help bring you a lot of clarity and a lot of, I don't want to say peace. It feels more like there's some sort of clarity that you've been looking for, that you've been struggling to either see or understand, that's going to come to light for you on or around the 20th or the 21st of December. That's going to help you see your entire year more clearly. It's going to be a sense of insight that allows you to make some decisions for your new year. That's interesting. Our candle just went out. I'm going to have to relight that in a little bit. It's going to give you a sense of, there could have been something earlier in the year that you struggled with and you didn't understand why this was just so hard. And I feel like that's the thing that's going to come to light. Something that it didn't make sense at the time is going to start to make sense, if that makes sense. So I think it could have something to do with your safety of the home in some way, or some sort of you being kind of a little more to yourself than normal. And it might have like made you feel a little uncomfortable at some point this year. And the reason I say that, you have the Four of Pentacles. So this is about, sometimes it is about you needing to, you're holding on to something a little too tightly. Sometimes it's about, in this particular deck though, this gentleman is inside. There's a gentleman outside that's trying to get in. And this person's being very particular about why they're not letting this person in. I feel like there could have been someone or something that metaphorically was trying to push its way in, and you didn't understand where this energy was coming from. It was trying to push itself onto you, or it was trying to steal something from you in some way, whether it was like physically stealing, whether you hopefully didn't experience a theft of some sort, and you just were like, what did I forget to lock a door? Did I forget to do that? Do we need to set up better systems for security? This feels like some of that information is going to come to light with this moon. I feel like you're going to get some clarity about why it happened, how to prevent it in the future, and it's going to benefit you, the clarity that you get about this situation. I know that sounds really specific, and it kind of is. So this might not be for everyone. If you didn't experience some sort of a break-in or some sort of theft that happened, there is someone that tried to it feels like they tried to steal your energy or steal your joy in some way, and you're just like, where did this come from? It kind of came out of nowhere, and then you kind of saw their true colors. I feel like that's going to come to light towards the end of this year. So if that makes sense, just be mindful of that. You're going to be getting some clarity about that. Speaking of loss, you have the Five of Cups. This could trigger you to remember the loss that you received as a result of this experience that you have, whatever it is, whether you lost a friend as a result of this, or you actually had a theft and someone took something from you. The important thing to pay attention to with this card is that there are still 2 cups standing. There's 3 cups that are falling. She's focused on the 3 cups that have fallen and have tilted over and spilled out. It's important to focus on what's left standing. What were you able to receive as a result of this? What I keep feeling this need to say, you still have your health, and you still have your life, and you still have a lot of other prosperity and abundance that is still there. And just because someone took a little from you doesn't mean you've lost everything. So try not to feel like sometimes we focus too much on what we lost and not enough on what we still have. This is asking for you to focus more on what you still have, what you didn't lose as a result of this situation. And I'm really sorry if this ended up happening for you, if there was some sort of break-in or some sort of theft that happened. I've experienced that myself. It really, really, really sucks in the moment. But trying to focus on the things that didn't get taken, I think will help you move through this energy and allow you to kind of like release some of the sorrow that you're feeling as a result of it. And I feel like you're going to take that energy and transmute it, because you have the scythe next. This person is taking what they have, and they're mixing a lot of different things together to create this sense of manifestation. So I feel like the experience that you had, whether it was a loss of a friend as a result of them taking too much from you, or an actual theft, I feel like this experience brought you some sort of information that's going to come to light towards the end of this year. It's going to allow you to do something differently than you had done before, whether it's creating a new system of safety, of security, whether it's realizing what you gained from the experience and what sort of insight or wisdom you gained from the experience, and using it to transmute the energy and to create something new, if that makes sense. Also, I will say, you have the Five of Wands, which is saying, it's talking about relying on teamwork. But I feel more in this particular reading, it's asking for you to remember that you have, I keep hearing safety in numbers, which is weird. But I feel more inclined to say that you have a support system. So if you are feeling any sort of pain or anger as a result of this experience that's coming back up for you, I think relying and allowing yourself to lean on your support system is going to be really important towards the end of this year. And it's going to allow you to move through some of the energy that transpired as a result of experiencing it. The next card is interesting because I feel like it's connected to the last two. And you're going to have to take this in your own way, and it's going to make sense for everyone a little differently, obviously. So you have the Tower, but it's in reverse. So I feel like usually the Tower, when it's in the upright, is saying there's some sort of shock or some sort of something happens that crumbles to the ground. Something, in other words, usually with a Tower card, in the greatest of, in the really, really big Tower moments in life, things, it seems like almost everything across the board in your life kind of crumbles to the ground, and you're being asked to rebuild. When it's in reverse, a lot of the times what this means is something needs to fall and crumble and be cut out of your life, but you're refusing to do that. So if there was an experience earlier in your year that's kind of caused you to kind of like be stuck in it and kind of not move through it, this is asking for you to move through that energy, because what the upside down Tower could be saying is that it's already happened, and so it's in the past, and that's why it's in the upside down. But it could also mean that you're holding on to something, you're holding on to a pain, you're holding on to a struggle, you're holding on to something that needs to be let go, and it will cause two different results as whether you hold on to it or you let it go, okay? And that's what the next two cards are. So these are kind of the outcome cards as a result of you either letting it go or just begrudgingly holding on to that experience. You have the 10 of Pentacles, and you have nature. Nature in the normal tarot is the Devil card. This person has this bear behind them, okay? And they're focusing so much on this trap here that they ignore that there's a bear behind them. And they ignore all these people enjoying a lot of joy and dancing about behind them. This is self-imposed restriction. This is someone who has the choice of two things. They can either be trapped by something or they can set themselves free from something, which I feel is very much in alignment with this tower. You're either going to let the tower crumble and let it fall to the ground, or you're going to steadfastly dig your heels in. And when you do that, the tower comes regardless, but it usually comes at the most inopportune moment, when if you just were able to see it and let it crumble when it's supposed to, it's still going to be uncomfortable. It's still going to be a drastic change, but it won't be super, super, super painful. The longer you hold out, the worse it will be. And then you have the 10 of Pentacles, which is leaving a legacy. It's very prosperous. It's very stable. It's feeling very secure. So I feel like basically what this is saying is, in a weird way, again, if you were someone who experienced the theft, this is you almost setting the trap for the future and then having a sense of stability. Or if it's not that, this is telling me that there's something about this person that we were talking about, whether this was the person that took something from you, they were an energy vampire or whatever. You are, if you go with the vibe of the Tower card and you allow it to crumble and you allow there to be clarity about the situation, you're going to set yourself free of this person or this situation, and therefore have a lot of stability and be able to enjoy what is still left. Okay? Again, going back to this 5 of Cups. And there's a lot here. There's a lot of great things to pay attention to. Trying not to get stuck in the trap of staying in the past is going to allow you to move into the future, which is very abundant. Okay? So, I feel like your last card really does kind of sum everything up pretty well. It's ringing the bells. Ring the bell to cast them out. Ring thy bell and dance about. Swirl the sounds amidst the wind. Now nowhere to hide, for all will ring. So, ringing a bell for some, for me, for a lot of people who work with energy and clearing energy. Ringing a bell is a good way to remove negative energy. There could be a sense that you need to maybe do some sort of cleansing for yourself, whether that's through crystals or ringing a bell or using some sort of smoke to clear the energy, to clear it out. I feel that is part of this message. The other message brings me back to these dancers behind this person who is setting this trap. The more we can focus on the joy and dancing and enjoying what is left, like we were saying, all the good positive things that are still here and still present in your life, the more you're not going to be trapped anymore. And this ringing of the bell is this like joyous enjoyment. It's almost a celebration, if you will, that you're still here. Despite all of the struggle, despite everything that's happened, you found a way through it, and celebrating that with bells on, to like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, is going to be the most beneficial to you. Understanding that it happened, and finding a sense of peace with it so that you're not trapped is going to be the way out of that feeling of being stuck, if that makes sense. So I hope that this resonated for you. This was a pretty more of a specific reading. I feel like this came out very specific for a handful of you. Hopefully, for those of you that it didn't resonate as much with, you got something else out of it. But I had to kind of go with what the energy was giving me, and that was what came out. So I hope this resonated. If it did, I would love to hear from you in the comments, or leave a like, share, or a subscribe, and have you come back as a misfit. This is probably going to be my last reading for you of the year. If I get more time to do more, I will, but probably going to take some time for myself, and I will see you in the new year. So until then, I'll see you on the other side.